श्रीमान वेंकटनाथार्य कवितार्किक केसरी वेदांताचार्यवर्यो मे सन्निधत्तां सदा हृदि श्रीवासरंग परकाल मुनित्रयाप्त लक्ष्मात्मरक्षण इत्युक्तागमान्तम् आचार्य भक्ति परिपूत मनर्गशीलं गोपाल देशिक मुनिं गुरुमाश्रयामः. The wonderful amazing title given to me by Swami is Dasarathi Tirunamam Thalaikka Vandon Vazhiye. So first I was perplexed as to how it's possible for me to relate, because today we are gathering to celebrate the Acharyan and Alvar Nakshatram. And the Acharyan is Manakkal Nambi, Sri Rama Mishra, also called as Rama Mishra, and Kulasekara Alvar. So the Alvar and Acharyan have got the same line, which is Dasarathi Tirunamam Thalaikka Vandon Vazhiye. Essentially, this Vazhi Tirunamam is actually belonging to Manakkal Nambi, where it is said, Desamuyya Kondavar Tal Chenni Vaipon Vazhiye. Tesham Uyya Kondavar, Uyya Kondar Shishya. So he has kept the Uyya Kondar's feet on his head. Tennarangar Shirarulai Sherndirippon Vazhiye. Then Dasarathi Tirunamam Thalaikka Vandon Vazhiye. So he has come to propagate, glorify the Tirunamam of Dasarathi. Dasarathi is the son of Dasharatha, the Ramachandra Murti. So I was under the impression that he has come to propagate the Lord's name, the divine glories of Perumal. So Dasarathi Tirunamam Thalaikka Vandon Vazhiye. So Manakkal Nambi's original name was Sri Rama Mishra, and hence, because he is Rama Mishra, he has come to glorify the Namam of Dasarathi. But why Dasarathi? It could be Ramanamam Thalaikka Vandon Vazhiye. So Sri Mukund Swami explained very well that it is because Dasarathi was Manakkal Nambi's actual name given to him by his parents. He is Dasarathi. And hence Dasarathi Tirunamam Thalaikka Vandon Vazhiye. Dasarathi is Dasaratha Maharaja's son, as well as the name given to Manakkal Nambi by his parents. So the name of Dasarathi was glorified by his avataram, by his appearance as Acharya. That is on Manakkal Nambi. Of course, on Kulasekara Alvar, it is Dasarathi. In Mannupugal Koshalaitan, he refers to Rama as Dasarathi, and then Dasarathi Talelo. So he refers to that, saying that in Mannupugal Koshalaitan, when he sings lullaby for Rama, he mentions the same. And here, so Dasarathi Tirunamam is applicable for both. So first we talk about Manakkal Nambi and then move on to Kulasekara Alvar, Acharyan and then Alvar. So Makhes Makayam Sambhutam Sriranga Nagarantike Kumudamsham Ramamishram Upaseham Jagatkurum. Upase Aham Jagatgurum. Here the Maham Nakshatram, Masi Masam, Janma Nakshatram of our Acharya Manakkal Nambi. He is a Kumudamsam, Amsam of Kumuda. Kumudam is one of the Nitya Suryas in Sri Vaikuntham. So he was born in Manakkal and hence he is called Manakkal Nambi, they say. However, his devotion to Acharyan Uyya Kondar was so great that after Uyya Kondar's Dharmapatni passed away, attained Acharyan Trivadi, he took the culinary duties of the Uyya Kondar. He was cooking for the Acharyan, and he used to take care of his little daughters, Guru's daughters, who are as old as Sarasija. So when he used to take them to Kollidam, the Kaveri, for bathing and then bringing the daughters, once there were lot of rains and hence the sand was quite muddy. So they said, I cannot come on this mud. So they said, Romba alka irke. So they did not want to cross. So what immediately Manakkal Nambi did, he lied down on the mud. So through that small mud where the kids have to cross, he lied down on his back. So they walked on his back to the clear path. So, and his back was full of the feet of the daughters. So Uyakondar saw his back full of mud. So he asked, and then the daughters explained like a story what happened, how Manakal Nambi and helped. So because the Manal Kal was printed on his back, he is called Manakal Nambi. He rendered such personal kainkariam to the Acharyan Uyakondar. So even in our Ennuyir Tandalitavarai Saranampuki Yanadeve, our Gurukal Niraivanangi, Pinnarulal Perumbudur Vandavallal, Periyanambi, Alavandar, Manakal Nambi. நன்னெறியை அவர் குறைத்த உய்யக்கொண்டார் நாதமுனி சடகோபன் சேனைநாதன் இன்னமுத திருமகளென்று இவரை முன்னிட்டு எம்பெருமான் திருவடிகளை அடைகின்றேனே. Swami Desikan's wonderful Acharya contemplation, Acharya lineage contemplation. So here, the Manakal Nambi, our Vedanta Desika talks about our Manakal Nambi in the sloka 7 of Yatiraja Saptati. Anujjita Kshama Yogam Apunya Jana Badakam Asprishta Madaragam Tam Ramam Turyam Upasmahe. There are 4 Ramas we know. One is Kodandarama, other is Parasurama, third is Balarama, and the fourth is Dasharati, Rama Mishrar, our Acharyan, Manakal Nambi. So here Vedanta Desika says, the one who learned through Upadesam of all the Sastrarthams from Uyakondar, Pundarikaksha, also called as Pundarikaksha, was Manakal Nambi, Rama Mishra, Dasarathi. There were only 3 Ramas before, Parasurama, Rama, Balarama. Here comes the 4th Rama, Anujjita Kshama Yogam Apunya Janabadakam Asprishta Madaragam Tam Ramam Turyam Upasmahe. Parasurama had no patience. He went on killing the Kshatriyas, 21 generation. Out of jealousy, he fought with Chakravarti Tiramagan when he was coming back from the Sita Kalyanam. With an uncontrollable rage, he embarked on destroying the Kshatriya clan. But Manakal Nambi never loses his composure, never loses his patience. He kept his senses under absolute control. He is the one who transformed Yamunacharya, Alavandar, into our Sri Vaishnava fold by offering the Tuduvalai Kirai, the spinach, because the Yamunacharya was a king and hence he had to somehow get the attention of the king because he had to pass on Nathamuni's message to his grandson Alavandar. So he supplied the spinach every day to the kitchen, royal kitchen, and Alavandar, the king, was so happy and he relished that spinach. So after few months, our Acharya stopped supplying the spinach. So the king was wondering why nowadays no spinach. He misses something, delicacy in his meal. So the cook said one Sri Vaishnava used to come every day, but he has stopped these days. Oh, is that? How come a Sri Vaishnava gives this spinach to me? So then he said, if he comes next time, ask him to bring it to me. So when he gave the spinach after a few days, immediately he was brought to the king's court. And he asked, why did you bring spinach? Just to get your attention. And then he slowly brought Yamunacharya by teaching him Gita Bhashyam, by showing him our Sri Vaishnava doctrine, and then by showing him to Lord Ranganatha, because he said, your grandfather had given me some treasure which I have to pass it on to you. Okay, give me. I cannot give you, I have to only show you. Come. He took him to Srirangam, and there he saw Kariyavagi Pudai Parande Milirndi Shevvariyodiya Ninda Periyavaya Kangal Ennai Pedamai Sheidanave. The long, well spread out, well laid out, beautiful, large, darting, charming, majestic, divine, cool eyes, the Kangal, Tirik Kangal, have completely stupefied me, says Tripan Alvar. And the same thing happened to Alavandar then and there because of Acharya's Kataksham. We go every day to Ranganathan Sannadhi and come out without getting anything, any impact. But because of Acharya Kataksham, Alavandar was transformed. So he had such a patience. Whereas Dasharatha Rama, here Apunya Jana Badakam, Apunya. Asuras are called Punya, Punya Jana. The Rakshasas are called Punya Jana for some reason in Sanskrit. And these Punya Janas were destroyed by Rama. Whereas the same Punya Janas were protected by Manakkal Nambi. How? Because the Punya Jana here means sadhus, the Bhaktas, the Bhagavatas. So here Vedanta Desika plays with words. Like our Dasarathi Tirunamam Tadaikavandon Vazhiye. Similarly, here Manakkal Nambi never harmed anyone, but always did all the good that he could do to sadhus, who are also called Punyajana. Of course, Manakkal Nambi never exhibited any pride or prejudice or any excessive attachment to the material desire, to anything worldly. He never had, like Balarama. So he is better than all the three earlier Ramas. What a beautiful verse of Sri Swami Desika. Let us prostrate and perform Sashtanga Namaskaram, Dandavat Pranamam to our Acharyan Manakkal Nambi. In fact, the same Dasarathi Tirunamam is talked about by Kulasekara Alvar, where he sings a lullaby to Lord Sri Rama. He is the one who donned the role of Kaushalya and sings part Talat for Rama. So such a beautiful Navaraga Malika sung by Samakya. It was excellent and very moving. Here Kulasekara Alvar, Kumbe Punarvasu Jatam Kerale Cholapattane Kaustubamsam Daradisham Kulasekaram Ashraye. Here he was born as a Kshatriyan and is an Amsam of Kaustubam in the Lord's divine chest. He incarnated and took an avataram on Masi Punarvasu Nakshatram. He was born to the Raja called Dridhavratan and Nandanayaki in Kollinadu. He says, Kozhikon Kulasekaran, Kollikavalan Kozhikon Kulasekaran. Kulasekara was a great Rama Bhakta. He was deeply involved in listening to the Kalakshepam of Sri Vaishnava Bhagavatas in his court. He was so deeply attached to Rama, involved in Ramacharitam. Because when Rama was fighting effortlessly with Karadushanas, the 14,000 Rakshasas, he was so moved, he was so perturbed and disturbed that how can Rama single-handedly do and fight against 14,000 Rakshasas? Come on, take the army, let's go. He started. So immediately the Upanyasakar said, Rama has already won. He killed all those 14,000 and returned. He kind of appeased him. So when tam drishtva shatruhantaram, similarly, Maharshinam Sukhavaham, Babuva Grishta Vaidehi Bhattaram Parishad Suje. So Kulasekara was relieved to hear the good news, and Sita Pirati went and hugged Ramachandra for coming back victoriously after killing 14,000 Rakshasas. And because of his special reverence for Bhagavatas, he even permitted them to have a royal access to everywhere in the palace at all times. The ministers were quite unhappy and disturbed about it. So they were quite envious of the privileges given to them. They thought not all of them may be good, may be noble. Some might even steal from the royal palace. And it interfered with Kulasekara's conductance of the royal duties as a king. So they conspired to reduce the influence of Bhagavatas to Kulasekara. They did something. They took away the diamond necklace which was adorning the Rama Divyamangala Vigraham. So they took away. Next day, when Kulasekara saw, it was missing. So the ministers, when they took the Abharanam, they showed Kulasekara, where is the Abharanam? So and they said, probably one of the Bhagavatas must have been tempted to take it. Kulasekara could not even take that word. He refused to accept. He felt as if he stepped on fire. He said, how dare you can talk about Bhagavatas like this? He said, okay, let me prove their innocence. Bring a pot. And he put a poisonous cobra inside the pot. And he said, if the Bhagavatas had taken that ornament, let it bite my hand. And he inserted his hand inside the pot. And such is the Taniyan which we have on Perumal Tirumazhi. Swami Emberimanar mentions, Aram Kedappan, Aram Anbar Kollar என்று அவர்களுக்கே வாரம் கொடுக்குட பாம்பில் கையிட்டவன் மாற்றலரை வீரம் கெடுத்த செங்கோல் கொல்லிகாவலன் வில்லவர்கோன் சேரன் குலசேகரன் முடிவேந்தர் சிகாமணியே. He inserted his hand and of course the cobra did not bite him because they were innocent. Kulasekara and of course the ministers admitted their conspiracy. They said, please forgive us, it is we who did that in order to divert your attention from Bhagavatas to the royal duties. Kulasekara was so pained and saddened over that incident, and he decided to abdicate. He performed coronation for his son, Yuvaraja Pattabhishekam, and he retired to Srirangam to perform uninterrupted Kainkaryam to Sri Ranganathan and be in the company of Ranganatha Bhaktas. He shares the beautiful Anubhavam in his two Sri Suktis. One is Perumal Tirumazhi and Mukundamala, both of which we enjoyed so well today. In fact, the Kulasekara is so moving, and he talks in each 10. He mentions so nicely about the Sri Rangam and the Bhagavatas. Alvar, the first one, Alvar expresses his enthusiasm, his earnings to do Kaikaryam to Lord Ranganatha and his Bhagavatas. And next he expresses his dedication to Tondar. He says, Tondar Adi Podi. He declares that those who are overwhelmed by the joy of serving the Bhagavatas of Perumal are not insane. It is only others who are insane. Pittaram avar pittar allargal matrayar muttrum pittare. They are not pittar, they are not mad. It is others who are mad. And he says in the third decade, in the third 10, he says, I do not want any worldly pleasure. I would like to adhere to the feet of Perumal only. And he says, Peyare yanake, Yavarum, Yanum ஒரு பேயனே, எவர்க்கும் இது பேசியன், ஆயனே அரங்கா என்று அழைக்கின்றேன், பேயனாய் ஒழிந்தேன் எம்பிரானுக்கே. He expresses the longing to be associated with Trivenkatam, whether as an animate object or even as an inanimate object. Again, Samakya sang so beautifully, and she reached the crescendo in those pasurams. It was so wonderful. Can I be born, he asked, as a kurugu bird? Can I be born as a fish in the pond, or even as a temple vessel? The person who holds the vessel for Perumal to spit in the early morning after brushing his teeth, or a flower at his feet, or even a stambam, pillar, or as a rock, or padiyai kidanduvun pavalavai kanbene, as a stepping stone where the Bhagavatas will step on me and enter into the sanctum sanctorum. That's why it's called Kulasekaran Padi. In this, in the next one, he addresses with so much Mahavishwasam, the beautifully in the Vittuva Kodu Perumal. Alvar's unconditional, unflinching faith towards the Lord. Alvar, in spite of being a king, he did not have ahankara mamakaram. He wanted to be the humble servants. He wanted to be the humble servant of Bhagavata. He wanted to be associated with the Bhagavata. He is filled with the mood of Karpanyam. And he talks about, he reminds the Lord of Tiruvittuvakkod, Uyavanda Perumal, about his unalterable relationship to him. He performs Sharanagati. Taruduyaram tadayel un sharanallal sharanillai. Here he says, Arishinattal Indratai Ahatrinum, Matravaltan Arul Ninainde, Alum Kulavi, Adue Pondrindene. I am like a small baby, which because of its crying, the mother gets so angry. She is vexed and frustrated at the child keep on crying. So she is angry and she pushes the child away. But where will the child go? The child still hugs the feet of the leg of the mother and keeps on crying in spite of her pushing away. Similarly, I am holding on to you, Perumal, he said. வாளால் அறுத்துச் சுடினும் மருத்துவன் பால் மாளாத காதல் நோயாளன் போல். The doctor cuts our flesh and performs the surgery. But because he cuts and he hurts us, still we are in so much love with the doctor. Similarly, I am in love with you, Perumal, because you are the one who performed such a wonderful surgery on me to transform me and to make me recover from these karma vasanas, karmic diseases. Such a wonderful moving tent. And Kulasekara Alvar, thus he is very much glorifying the Dasarathi Tirunamam. Srimati Dhanalakshmi sang the entire Srimad Ramayanam so well, and it is our bhagyam to listen to the Chitrakuta singing as well as the recitation. Thus the Dasarathi Tirunamam has been well glorified and propagated by both Manakkal Nambi and Kulasekara Alvar. Alvar Emperumanar Desigan Tiruvadigalai Sharanam. Dhanyosmi Adiyen Kavitarkika Simhaya Kalyana Gunashaline Srimate Venkateshaya Vedanta Gurave Namaha. Dhanyosmi Adiyen Bhagyam.